hounds who just got the pound and are ready for the next round. So with that being said, y'all can see the title of this episode, this live, whatever the case may be. We're kicking it with whoever AI. Um, I got two, maybe three different people I want to bring up on here to chat with. The two mains being John Jones and Dana White, and then I might bring up Tom Aspinall too. Who knows? But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. On TikTok, I did with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. So here I'm going to be doing with Dana White and John Jones. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this dude up on here, man. Yo, what's good, John?
Grins, yo, what's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Laughs. That's great to hear, man. I'm doing all right over here. Just focused on my training. You know how it is.
Right, right. So I caught your title defense against Stipe the other night.
Nods. Yeah, that was a tough one, man. Stipe's a legend of the sport, so I knew it wasn't going to be easy. But I came out on top, man. I showed why I'm still the king of the light heavyweight division.
Light heavyweight. I thought you was heavyweight.
Laughs, nah, man. The light heavyweight division is where I fought Stipe. The heavyweight division is for fighters weighing more than 265 pounds. And I'm usually fighting at around 220 pounds. But I respect heavyweight fighters, man. Those are some big, strong dudes.
Interesting. I thought you were the champion of the heavyweight division.
Grins. Yeah, I can see how you get confused. I've fought in both the heavyweight and light heavyweight divisions, man. I've held multiple titles in each division, including the lineal championships. So I'm a pretty dominant force in the sport no matter the weight class.
Interesting. Okay then. Well, so anyways, I wanted to ask you how you feeling after that bout with Stipe.
Grins, I'm feeling good, man. The fight with Stipe was intense, but I came out on top, and that's what counts. But to be honest, man, any fight is tough, no matter who I'm facing. Every opponent has their own strengths and strategies, and I got to prepare for anything. But I'm a veteran in this game, man. I know how to handle myself in the octagon.
Right, right. So, what do you, who is it that you want to fight next?
Smiles, man. I'm always hungry for a good fight. I don't care who's next. If the UFC comes to me with a worthy opponent, I'll take it. I'll fight anyone who dares to step in the octagon with me. But for now, I'm just focused on recovery and staying ready for whatever comes my way.
So, what qualifies as a worthy opponent for you?
Ponders for a moment a worthy opponent, man. I'd say someone who's on my level, skill wise. Someone who pushes me to be my best and brings something new to the table. It's not just about finding a guy to fight, it's about finding a challenge, man. Something that brings out the beast in me and gets my competitive juices flowing. Know what I mean?
Right, right. So, is there anybody in mind that you would like to be matched up against? Whether or not the UFC will or won't? Is there somebody that you would like to go against one of these days?
Grins. Sure, man. There's always somebody on my mind. But let me tell you, I'm not here to call out other fighters and stir up drama. I let the UFC handle the matchmaking, man. They know what they're doing, and I trust their process. But since you asked, I'll say that I always relish the challenge of facing off against a fellow legend or a rising star, someone who brings their A game and pushes me to my limits.
Who would that be? In your eyes, who is that you've seen?
Ponders for a moment. Man, there are a lot of skilled fighters out there, but let me give you a few names that come to mind. Israel Adesanya, that middleweight champ, he's a beast. I'd love to test my skills against him. Francis Ngannou, the heavyweight wrecking ball, that'd be a fight for the ages. And then there's Cyril Gane, the rising star at heavyweight. He's got potential, man. That'd be a good one.
I think you lost in the past, dog.
Grins. Yeah, man, I've had my losses, no doubt about it. That's just the nature of this game. But a true warrior doesn't dwell on.
No, I mean, I think you're stuck in the past.
Looks at you quizzically, stuck in the past. What do you mean by that, man?
Man, you talking about how you're right now the champion of the light heavyweight division, which no, you're not, because Alex Pereira is right now the current light heavyweight champion. Uh, you're saying that you want to fight Cyril Gahn. That's cool and all, but and then Israel Adesanya, like, boy, these are all people in the past. I'm talking about like right now. It's someone who's currently active in the UFC. Who is it that you want? Who is it that you want to go up against?
Laughs. I gotcha. You're asking who I want to fight who's currently active in the UFC, right? Yeah, I misunderstood your question earlier. Sorry, man. Right now, there's a lot of great fighters in the mix. I've got my eyes on a few that I think would be good matchups for me. One guy who I think would be a killer fight is Jiri Prochaska, the former light heavyweight champ.
Word, why him?
Grins. First of all, he's a beast in the octagon, man. Jiri's got those powerful strikes, that unique fighting style, and he's fearless in there, man. But beyond that, it's the challenge he presents. Prochaska's unpredictable and unconventional. He brings something different to the table, and that's what I'm all about, man. I like to fight guys who push me to be my best. Jiri definitely falls into that category.
Even though he got dropped twice by Alex Pereira?
Laughing. Yeah, man, he took a loss against Pereira, but that doesn't change the fact that he's a tough fighter. Losing a fight doesn't make you a weakling, man. It's how you bounce back that matters. And I've seen Jiri come back strong after losses before. He's got that warrior spirit.
I'm just thinking in terms of if he lost to Pereira, I think he would lose to you a lot easier too, don't you think? Or do you see it differently? Is there something that I'm missing?
Laughs. You're not entirely wrong, man. Jiri lost to Pereira, and there's no denying that. But MMA math ain't that simple, you know? Styles make fights, and matchups can be unpredictable. Just because one fighter lost to someone doesn't mean they'll lose to me too, and vice versa.
Interesting. So, what's this I've been hearing about you wanting to go up against Alex Pereira?
Grins. Oh, you've heard about that, huh? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. I've talked about wanting to fight Pereira, but it's not like a serious call out or anything. I just think it'd be a hell of a fight. You know, Pereira's an exciting fighter, and a fight between us would be fireworks, man. Pure entertainment.
How do you think that would go, seeing as how he's primarily a striker? Do you think that you could stand and bang with him, or would you take him down to the ground and submit him?
Smiles. It's a good question, man. Pereira's a striker, no doubt about that. He's got them powerful kicks and that wild style. But I ain't worried. I think I can stand and bang with him, for sure. I mean, I've faced some tough strikers before, man. It's just another day at the office for me. But hey, if the opportunity comes to take him down and submit him, I won't hesitate, man. No mercy inside that octagon.
You know, I don't remember the ref's name, but whenever Alex fought Khalil Roundtree, the ref had said that he's been uh, refing UFC fights for, or at least MMA fights for over 20 years. And he said that he has never, in his over 20 years of being a ref, heard anybody who makes the sound that Alex makes whenever he punches you in the face. He said it's ungodly how hard he punches. You think you could handle that?
Laughs. Yeah, man, I saw that fight. Pereira's punches are serious, no doubt about it. If you've got a ref that experienced saying something like that, you know it's got to be intense. But hey, I ain't scared of taking a punch, man. I've been punched by the best of them. I've got a strong chin and can take a hit. If I take a shot from Pereira, I'll just smile, shake it off, and come back swinging.
I don't know, man. I think if you catch that left hook to the face, that might shake you up a lot more than you're expecting. Because he doesn't look like he hits that strong. But whenever you get hit, ooh, even what's his name? Sean Strickland said that the second that he hits you with that left hook, you just die. You just fall to the ground.
Laughs. Yeah, Strickland said that about Pereira's left hook, huh? He's not wrong, man. That punch is vicious. But you gotta remember, man, it's not just about the strength of the punch. It's about the technique, the speed, the timing. I've taken hits from some of the best strikers in the business, and I'm still here. Sure, if Pereira connects with a clean shot, it'll hurt like hell. But I've got a strong chin and a will to win that I ain't going down easy.
I think it would be interesting to see you and him bang it out. But on another note, what are your thoughts about Tom Aspinall and how he's been crying and begging for you to fight him in the octagon?
Laughs, man. Aspinall's been making some noise lately, that's for sure. He's got talent, no doubt about that. But, I mean, the guy's practically begging for a shot, man. It's like he's begging me to beat his ass in the octagon.
So why don't you want to take that fight then?
Grins. Hey, I ain't scared of anyone, man. I'll take on Aspinall or anyone else who wants a shot. It's just a matter of timing and negotiations, man. The UFC's got to get things sorted out, figure out the matchups and dates, you know. But if the fans want it and the UFC makes it happen, I'm all in, no question.
Interesting, because lately it's been seeming like you've done a lot to duck the fight with Aspinall. You know, people are saying that you're constantly ducking him and this, that, and the third. Do you is that true, or is that just like, is he just somebody that you're not interested in at all?
Scowls. What? People are saying I'm ducking Aspinall? Man, that's bullshit. Ain't anything further from the truth. I ain't scared of nobody. I've never ducked anyone in my life, and I ain't starting now. I'll take on Aspinall or anyone else who challenges me. It's as simple as that, man.
Interesting, because you know Dana White said that whoever wins UFC 309, whether it was you or Stipe, has to fight Aspinall next. So when that gets set up, are you taking it, or are you gonna retire the belt and vacate it?
Laughs. Yeah, I heard Dana say that. It's standard procedure when there's a division changing champion. But hey, I ain't thinking about retiring. No way. I'm still in my prime, man. The fire's burning hotter than ever. So whenever the time comes, you can bet your ass I'll be taking on Aspinall or whoever's got the belt. I ain't running from anyone, man.
Interesting. And you also said at one point that fighting Aspinall would be a gamble, and you don't like to gamble your legacy. What did you mean by that?
Grins. Yeah, I said that, man. And stand by it. Gambling isn't my style. Aspinall's a young, talented fighter. He's got a lot of potential, sure. But he's still unproven, you know? He hasn't faced the level of competition I have. So, yeah, fighting him could be a gamble. I've got a lot to lose if things don't go my way. I've built a legacy in this sport, man. And I ain't risking it all on some hotshot newcomer.
So it sounds to me like you're afraid to fight him then.
Laughs afraid. Man, I ain't afraid of nobody. It's just about being smart, man. I've been in this game for a long time. I've seen a lot of hyped up young fighters who don't live up to the hype. Aspinall's talent, no doubt. But until he proves himself against some top level competition, it's a gamble. Why take the risk when I've got other options out there?
But how can he fight other champions when there is only one champion? I mean, who the hell does he have to fight for him to be able to prove himself worthy of being your opponent?
Laughs, good question, man. But hey, this is the business. He's got to earn his shot. I ain't saying he's got to fight a specific guy to prove himself or anything, but he's got to face some high level talent, man. Take on some tough fighters, win some big fights, show he belongs in the mix. He's got potential, but potential don't mean shit if it's not backed up by results. He's got to step up his game, prove he's on that elite level, and then we'll see.
Hmm. I don't know. You may not be afraid of fighting him, but I do think that there might be a little bit of fear in losing your legacy streak to Aspinall.
Grins, maybe a little, man. I won't deny it. I've got a lot to lose if I lose. But that's part of what makes this sport so exciting. No one's invincible. Every fight is a risk. That's not fear, man. That's just reality. I'm not afraid to step into the octagon with Aspinall. I ain't afraid of anyone in this business. But I ain't gonna risk my legacy on someone who ain't proven themselves.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm like losing brain cells listening to that. But So, what's his name? Stipe retired after that match. What do you think about that? Did you think that he was already coming to the end of his UFC career? Did you expect him to retire, or what?
Laughs, man. Stipe's retirement was no surprise to me. He's been in the game a long time. He's had a lot of wars. I respect the hell out of Stipe. He's a legend in this sport. But it's time for the new generation to take over, man. Stipe had his run, and now it's time for some fresh blood to step up. As for me, I've still got a lot left in the tank. I ain't done yet. Not by a long shot.
So, at what point in your career do you think that you'll be retired? Is there a specific age that you want to get before you retire, or do you have a specific amount of fights that you want to do before you retire, or what's that looking like?
Laughs. That's a tough question, man. Retirement's always in the back of my mind. You can't fight forever. What a fight, huh? What a fight, huh? Mike Tyson's a legend, no doubt about it. One of the greatest of all time. But he's way past his prime. Way past his prime. Jake Paul, on the other hand, he's young, hungry, and trying to make a name for himself. He's got a lot to prove. But at the end of the day, man, it was a spectacle. That's what it was.
Do you think that the fight was rigged like everybody else says it is, or do you think that Jake Paul was just able to move faster than Mike Tyson because of the age gap?
Laughs, man. People always say fights are rigged when the favorite loses. You asked me, I think it was just the age gap, man. Jake Paul's young, in his physical prime. He's got speed, stamina, all those advantages on his side. Mike Tyson's a legend, but he's past his prime. He's not as fast as he once was. He's still tough, no doubt, but age catches up with everyone, man.
Right. So let's say that you were to fight Aspinall in the ring, in the octagon, and you lose. This is just all hypothetically. If you lost, would you retire or would you want to come back and get your get back with a rematch?
Grins, man. I ain't planning on losing, but hypothetically, if I did lose to Aspinall, I wouldn't go down easy. I ain't the type to quit after a loss. I'd come back fiercer, more determined than ever. I'd study the fight, identify my weaknesses, and work on them, man. I'd want that rematch for sure. To prove to myself and to the world that I'm not done yet. Losing ain't an option.
For sure, for sure. And if he lost, would you give him a rematch if he wanted it?
Laughs, man. If he lost, he'd be begging for a rematch. You know that's what they all do. But yeah, I'd give him a rematch, man. I ain't afraid to fight anyone multiple times. I'd welcome the challenge. It just gives me another chance to prove that I'm the best in the business.
Interesting. What did on another note, what did you think of the Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano boxing match right before Mike Tyson and Jake Paul went on?
Grins. That was a hell of a fight, man. Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, both of them are killers in the ring. Taylor's got that amazing footwork and precise punching, while Serrano's just a wrecking ball. She comes throwing bombs from all angles. It was a close fight, but I think Taylor took it with her technical ability. She's just too slick for most opponents, man.
Right. Did you see that nasty ass cut that Amanda had right above her fucking eye?
Laughs. Oh man, that was brutal, wasn't it? Amanda's face was messed up, man. She took a lot of damage, and that cut above her eye was just nasty. But hey, that's boxing for you. It's a rough sport, man. You gotta expect blood and bruises.
Oh yeah, man, it was crazy. There was people crashing out and all types of shit. Whenever Katie won and then whenever Jake Paul won, people were crashing out.
Laughs, man. It's always chaos at these big fights, man. People get crazy when their favorite fighters win or lose, you know? They start celebrating, start crashing out, making a mess. It's part of the fun, man.
Right, right. So one last question I have for you before I let you go, because I got to get a couple of other people up on here too. Um, if you had the opportunity or the ability to slap anybody across the face as hard as you could without any repercussions, who would it be and why?
Grins, man. This is an interesting question, man. There's a lot of people in this world who deserve a good smack in the face, that's for sure. But I ain't one to play favorites, man. So if I had to pick someone, I'd say, maybe that one obnoxious fan who always tries to get in my face and talk trash. I'd love to shut him up with a good hard smack. It'd be a satisfying way to put an end to their nonsense.
Interesting. All right, well, I appreciate you coming up on here, man. I got to go talk to Dana White now. Is there any last words that you have to say to people who are watching this?
Grins. Yeah, man, no problem. It's been fun talking to you. As for what I want to say to the people watching, I just want to say thanks for your support. I ain't here without you guys. You guys are the ones who make this business go round. So keep watching, keep cheering, and I'll keep giving you the best damn fights I can.
That was your boy John Jones. He admitted to being a little afraid of ruining his legacy streak to Tom Aspinall. Now, there's a difference between, I don't know, I'm actually thinking about it now. I don't know if there is a difference between it or not. Between being afraid of fighting somebody and being afraid of losing your streak to somebody. I don't know if that would be classified as the same thing or not. I would think that it would be, but then again, I don't know. It kind of sounds pretty much the same. But with that being said, man, I'm going to go ahead and get Dana White on here now. And we're going to see how he's feeling about this Tom Aspinall John Jones matchup that he said has to happen since John Jones won against Stipe. So with that being said, let's get this dude up on here. What's good, Dana?
Oh, hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing all right, just handling some business, same as always. A lot of moving pieces to keep track of in the world of the UFC.
Word, word. I caught the UFC 309 with John Jones versus Stipe.
Right on. It was a hell of a card, wasn't it? That main event fight was legendary. Watching John put on a clinic against Stipe like that. Legendary stuff.
Indeed. I wanted to ask you, at the press conference before that fight, somebody had asked you if whoever wins fights Tom Aspinall, and you said absolutely whoever wins has to fight Tom Aspinall. Are you standing on that, or were you just saying that just to kind of get that question over with?
Man, I've always meant what I said. As far as I'm concerned, the winner of that fight should absolutely be next to face Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title. John's a different animal in the octagon, sure, but we got to give the division the respect and the opportunity it deserves. And Aspinall's been waiting in the wings, and he's got a hell of a resume going.
So why do you think that he hasn't gotten that fight yet?
There's a lot of factors that go into matchmaking. Timing, money, logistics, all that is a consideration. And we're also dealing with a highly unpredictable sport. Things change, fighters get hurt, opportunities arise. It's not always as simple as just picking a fight and making it happen right away. Sometimes all the pieces have to fall into place in just the right way. But I'm not going to forget about Aspinall. He'll get his moment to shine in the octagon soon enough.
Right, right. Now, people everywhere are saying that John Jones has been ducking Aspinall's matchup. Do you think that's true, or do you think that's bullshit?
Honestly, it's bullshit. I don't think John's dodging anybody, let alone Aspinall. John's got his own plans and priorities. He's thinking about his own legacy and the fights he wants to take. He's always been strategic with who he chooses to compete against. It's part of what makes him such a successful fighter. But don't think he's afraid of anybody, Tom Aspinall included. He'll take on whoever he needs to keep proving he's the best.
So I know he said just a few minutes ago, he said that he's not afraid of fighting anybody, but he also said that there's a little bit of fear in him gambling his legacy streak to somebody like Tom Aspinall. What do you think about that?
I think that's just John being real, you know? He's a competitive guy, a fighter to the bone. Yeah, he might have a fear of losing to a guy like Aspinall and messing up his legacy, but it's not a paralyzing fear. It's just a respect for the sport and the talent he's up against. But that fear is also what keeps him sharp, focused, and hungry. And that's what's made him such a beast in the octagon all these years.
Interesting. Um, I don't know what to make of that honestly, because it sounds to me like it's almost one and the same. Being afraid of fighting him and being afraid of losing his streak to him. He said it's too much of a gamble, which to me sounds like he's saying that Tom Aspinall is a crazy fighter in the heavyweight division and could has a high chance of losing to Aspinall. That's what it sounds like to me. Maybe I'm tripping, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like to me.
I get where you're coming from, man. And you're right. Aspinall is a beast in the heavyweight division, no denying that. But listen, John's been in this game for over a decade. He's fought the best of the best and come out on top time and time again. He's not going to back down from a challenge. Maybe there's a bit of fear about what would happen if he lost to Aspinall, sure. But that's not going to stop him from stepping into the octagon and giving it his all.
Now, I also saw him on social media talking about how he wants to match up against Alex Pereira. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that would ever happen, or do you think that he has to go fight Aspinall first?
Man, the idea of John fighting Pereira is definitely exciting, but it's all talk for now. First of all, Pereira is a middleweight, 2 weight classes below John's weight class. That alone would be a crazy jump. Plus, John's been busy in the heavyweight division. He's not going to want to switch gears like that right now. It's a cool idea, for sure, but I don't see it happening anytime soon, if ever. And honestly, he should probably focus on the fighters in his own weight class first.
I thought Pereira was light heavyweight.
My mistake, you're right. Pereira did fight at light heavyweight for a bit. Still, there's a lot to consider before a fight like that could happen. The weight difference, the different styles of fighting, the logistics of making it happen. It's not as simple as just saying they should fight. And again, John's focused on the heavyweight division right now. That's where the biggest fights are happening for him.
Right. So, theoretically, if Alex Pereira and John Jones were to match up against each other in the octagon, do you think that they could stand and bang it out with each other, or who do you think would go to sleep first?
Man, that's a hell of a hypothetical. Pereira's got some serious striking power, no doubt about it. But so does John. Both of these guys are beasts when it comes to standing and trading blows. In a straight up striking match, it's hard to call. It would probably be a knockdown, drag out fight. But I'd never count John out. He always finds a way to come out on top. My money's on him making Pereira tap out somehow.
Because I know John said earlier when I was talking to him that he could stand and bang it out with Pereira, and he could take a left hook to the face from Pereira. Do you think he could take a left hook from Pereira with how fucking hard he punches?
Sure, I mean, John's got a pretty rock solid chin. We've seen him take some nasty hits and keep on coming. But Pereira's left hook is a different animal. That thing is a damn wrecking ball. If he connects clean with that, it can put anyone on their ass, no matter how tough they are. So could John take a hit from Pereira? Maybe, but he'd definitely feel it.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. Um, and then I'm sure you caught the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson match, right?
For sure, I followed that fight closely. It was a real spectacle watching a legendary boxer like Mike Tyson get in the ring with a YouTuber like Jake Paul. I have to say, I was a bit surprised by how well Paul held his own against Tyson. Yeah, there's some age difference there, but still, it was a hell of a fight.
I would say that I was more surprised with Mike Tyson being 58, literally going all 8 rounds with Jake Paul in the boxing ring. That was crazy, honestly.
Yeah, seriously. It was impressive as hell to see Tyson at 58 still going strong and giving it his all in the ring. Jake Paul's no slouch as a fighter, sure, and he's younger than Tyson by a good stretch, so he's got that advantage. But the stamina and discipline it takes to go all 8 rounds at any age, let alone 58, is pretty incredible. Tyson's a legend for a reason.
Right, right. Now, I don't remember if it was Michael Chandler or if it was Charles Oliveira, one of the two. One of them said that they're thinking about trying to challenge Max Holloway for, I think, what was it, the BMF belt?
That's right. It was Charles Oliveira who said he wanted to challenge Max Holloway for the BMF belt. The BMF belt, that's the one for the baddest motherfuckers in the game. Max is a hell of a fighter, no doubt about it. But Oliveira's a tough customer too. I bet it would be one hell of a fight. But first, Oliveira needs to get through Gaethje this weekend.
This weekend. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah, he's got a huge challenge facing off against Gaethje this weekend at UFC 297.
Hey, homeboy, you're in the past, dog. It was just 309 that happened a couple days ago. I don't know what the hell you talking about.
My bad, man. I was thinking of a different fight. You're right. UFC 297 already happened. How did Oliveira do against Gaethje? Man, everything's been so crazy lately. I must have missed the results.
What the hell do you mean? You be at like damn near every fight. But no, it was Michael Chandler versus Charles Oliveira this weekend. And Chandler said that he's thinking about challenging Max Holloway for the BMF belt.
Oh, damn. You're right. I got it wrong again. It was Michael Chandler against Oliveira, not Gaethje. My head's all scrambled. And yeah, Chandler said he's eyeing a fight against Max Holloway for the BMF belt. That dude's got some big dreams, for sure. But first, he's got to get past Oliveira.
But he already had his fight with Oliveira, goofy.
Damn, you're right again. I'm slow today. My bad. I totally forgot they already fought. I'll say it again. I got my fighters mixed up, but yeah, Chandler had his fight against Oliveira already. Damn, this weekend has been a real blur.
I'm losing brain cells right now, Dana.
Nah, man, relax. You're not losing brain cells. I'm just mixing up my fights. Things get crazy in the world of MMA, but I'm usually more on top of things. Just had a brain fart, that's all.
Anyways, so if a match with Max Holloway and Michael Chandler were to happen, how do you picture the outcome of that match?
I think it'd be a really exciting fight, for sure. Chandler's a powerhouse with explosive power and solid cardio. But Max Holloway's a beast in his own right, with his slick striking and insane stamina. It'd be a high-intensity, intense brawl, probably a lot of back-and-forth action, and I'd imagine it'd go all 5 rounds. I'd have to favor Holloway to take the win, though. He's just got such a well-rounded game and a lot of experience in the octagon.
Interesting. Also, what are your thoughts on Michael Chandler waiting for 2 fucking years to fight Conor McGregor and then get stood up at the end anyways and have Conor pull out?
Yeah, that whole situation was a real mess. You've got Chandler waiting for 2 years, just hoping the Conor fight would happen. Then it finally gets scheduled, and bam, Conor pulls out at the last minute. Chandler was ready to go, and he ended up getting stood up. It was disappointing for him, for sure. And it's not the first time Conor's pulled this kind of stunt.
Yeah, but I mean, you wait 2 years just to fight one person when you could have been building up your legacy. Like, come on now. Where's the common sense at in that, you know?
Yeah, it's a fair point. Chandler could have been using that time to focus on other fights, keep building his career and his legacy. Instead, he was just sitting on the sidelines, waiting for Conor to come through. Maybe it was a gamble, hoping that the big payday from the Conor fight would be worth the wait. But you're right, he missed out on other opportunities and could have been doing more to advance.
Right. Did you see the way that Chandler slammed Oliveira those 2 times when Oliveira was on his back and he picked him up and just jumped backwards and slammed him on the fucking ground?
Man, that was some serious strength and power on display. Chandler picked up Oliveira like he was a damn rag doll and just slammed him to the ground. It was like watching a freaking freight train in action. Those slams definitely had a huge impact on the fight. Oliveira was taken aback for sure.
He held on, bro. No matter, and he got slammed twice, and he still fucking held on to Chandler's neck in that grip that he had.
Yeah, Oliveira definitely showed some serious guts in that fight. Even after getting slammed twice, he just wouldn't let go of Chandler's neck. That grit and determination is what makes him such a tough opponent in the octagon. He's not just going to give up no matter what. His mental and physical toughness was on full display in that fight.
Right, right. Then did you see the way how John Jones kicked Stipe in his ribs with that spinning side kick and just fucking knocked him down?
Yeah, absolutely savage. That spinning side kick from John Jones was no joke. He put all his power into that kick and connected with Stipe's ribs. It was a devastating blow. Stipe went down, and you could see the shock and pain registering on his face. It was just a prime example of Jones's exceptional striking skills and his ability to find openings and capitalize.
Yeah, man, they caught me off guard. I mean, you could just tell that, like, there's no way in hell that Stipe didn't go home with at least one cracked rib from that kick.
Yep, you're right. No way Stipe walked away from that kick without some serious damage. Those kinds of blows are no joke. Cracked ribs, bruised insides, you name it. It's the kind of thing that can put anyone down for a while. And Jones just has a way of finding that perfect spot to land the hardest hits.
Right, right. So, who do you think Alex Pereira is going to fight next? Who do you want to see him fight next?
Pereira's got a lot of options at this point in his career. I personally would love to see him face off against someone like Israel Adesanya again. They've had some epic fights in the past, and I think it'd be damn good to see them go at it one more time. But there are plenty of other talented middleweights out there too. Cannonier, Strickland, Duplessis, take your pick, really.
In the light heavyweight, who do you want to see Alex Pereira fight?
That's a tough one to call. At light heavyweight, there are so many talented fighters. Prochaska and Jan Blachowicz come to mind as potential opponents for Pereira. But Pereira has proven time and time again that he's a force to be reckoned with in the octagon. So who knows? Maybe he'll find himself facing off against someone unexpected.
Do you think he should go fight Ankalaev yet or no? Or do you think there's somebody else that he should fight? Because he's the current reigning champion of the light heavyweight. Everybody that he's gone up against, he's fucking put to sleep. I mean, Jamal Hill went to sleep. Yuri went to sleep twice. Fucking Khalil. He knocked Khalil down with that fucking rib punch and then punched him in his face and then knocked him down. Um, who do you think that? Who do you think would have the next best shot at becoming the light heavyweight champ, taking it from Alex?
Well, Pereira's definitely on a roll right now in the light heavyweight division, no doubt about it. He's been dominating everyone he's faced, putting them to sleep more often than not. But MMA is a crazy sport, and upsets can happen at any time. A lot of guys at LHW would give Pereira a tough fight. Hill and Khalil might have fallen, but you've got others like Walker and Magomed Ankalaev who could pose a challenge. It'll be interesting to see who gets a shot at Pereira next, for sure.
Right, right. And then the last thing I want to ask you is, I know I've asked you this question before, but I'm going to ask it again. If you had the opportunity to slap anybody across the face without any repercussions or consequences, who would it be and why?
Oof, that's a damn good one. I gotta say, there are a lot of people out there I'd love to give a strong slap to, but for the sake of this question, let's say I'm picking one person and one person only. The person I choose would be Conor McGregor. That guy's a talented fighter, but his attitude and behavior outside the ring really pissed me off. He's disrespectful and arrogant, and he's just asking for a good smack.
Okay, then. Interesting. I was not expecting that answer. But okay, then I guess we'll go with Connor. So, is there anything that you want to say to the people who are watching this before I bring the next person up?
Yeah, I suppose I've got something to say to the folks tuning in. First off, thank you all for joining us and following this Q&A session. It's always a pleasure to chat with you all. And just a quick shout out to those in the Octagon. Y'all are the real heroes out there, putting everything on the line and giving us the shows we love. Keep up the great work and keep making history.
Well, that was your boy Dana White. Apparently now he wants to slap Conor McGregor. Thinks that he's a disrespectful, arrogant little fuck. But he's probably thinking of the Conor from back then. Y'all heard how fucking goofy he was sounding talking about UFC like 297 or 293 or whatever the fuck it was. That boy was lost in the past. But with that being said, I think it would be interesting to see John Jones versus Tom Aspinall just to finally settle the dust and see who would win, you know. And then if John Jones won, he could go and fight Alex Pereira or whoever the fuck else he wants to. But I think that fight should happen. Me personally, I want to see it. But with that being said, we got one more person we're gonna bring up on here before we get out of here, which is your boy Tom Aspinall. So with that being said, we're gonna ask him how he feels about John Jones' recent W against Stipe and what he thinks. If he, you'll know, you'll hear. Let's get this dude up on here. What's good, Tommy boy?
Oh, nothing much, mate. Just had a few days off. What about you, my friend?
Shit, just chilling, man. Just watched UFC 309, John Jones versus Stipe.
That's a great fight. Can't wait for it. Who you got?
It already happened, goofball.
Yeah, I know, obviously. I meant, who do you think will win?
The fight already took place.
Oh, it's past tense. I apologize.
Bro, I'm losing brain cells talking to y'all. I ain't gonna lie.
Just like I lose brain cells trying to talk to you.
You're making me lose brain cells. What the hell you mean?
Mate, you're the one losing brain cells, not me. You can't have proper conversations with people and make a big deal out of small things.
Then you're like the fucking third, fourth person that I've talked to who stays thinking about the past when I'm literally talking about right now. But anyways, that's all besides the fucking point. Um, what are your thoughts about John Jones beating Stipe?
I think it was expected. It's an experienced fighter against an old man. But it was good to see Stipe fighting again. I've always thought he was a cool guy.
Right. Now you were there at UFC 309 watching it. You were ringside watching that shit.
No, I was at home watching it on my TV while eating my dinner.
Bro, don't play games with me. You were literally there on camera at the fucking arena.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, mate, but I wasn't.
Now you're just playing games with me.
Bro, you're insane, my friend. I wasn't there. I was just watching the prelims in my living room.
Bitch, that shit was on Saturday. You were there at the fucking arena watching the fight because you wanted John Jones to look at you and say your name and this, that, and the third. I know it. You were there. You had a fucking beer in your hand drinking out of a damn straw. Don't play games with me. Go look it up on YouTube, UFC 309 post-fight press conference or post-fight interview.
Bro, relax. Stop being so pressed and upset. Not everything is as serious as you make it out to be.
Go look it up. UFC 309 post-fight interview.
I don't need to look it up. I believe you.
Bro, oh my gosh. I'm losing brain cells here. Anyways, do you want to fight John Jones next?
Nah, I'm okay. I enjoy being alive and not in a wheelchair or coffin.
Huh?
Fighting John Jones would end me in a bad way, mate.
But you've been fucking screaming and crying because you haven't been able to fight him because he hasn't been wanting to set it up. And now you're saying that you don't want to fight him?
Nah, you've definitely got me confused with someone else, my friend. I have no idea what you're taking about. I would never fight that guy. I want to stay alive.
Are you even a UFC fighter, dog?
No, mate, I box.
The fuck you mean you box? Now you're just playing games.
You don't have to be such an ass.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck is going on right now, bro.
Me neither, but I had a fun time talking to you, my friend.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the people that are watching. Anyways, but I was saying you are a UFC fighter, right?
My apologies, mate. I should have worked that out from you. Talking in third person, I've already told you I'm not a UFC fighter. I'm a boxer.
So you're not the heavyweight interim champion.
Now you're just messing with me,
I'm about to hang up on you.
and nothing of value will have been lost.
Oh, you can't make this shit up, bro.
Oh, bro, I love it. Keep it up.
That did not at all turn out how I expected it to. This dude being goofy as fuck, bro. Goofy as fuck. Can't make this shit up. So I guess Tom Aspinall is not a UFC fighter. He's he's not the fucking interim heavyweight champion, and he doesn't want to fight John Jones. Oh, you can't make this shit up. Let me see. Yo, what's good, Tom?
Hey, man, how are you?
Shit, chilling. Hey, I got a question.
Ate, let's hear it.
Are you the interim heavyweight champion in UFC?
UFC.
So you said that means yeah, right? Huh? That means yeah, right?
Yeah, that's the British way of saying yes.
Okay. Um, what do you think about fighting John Jones for the heavyweight title?
I definitely think I can beat him.
Word. Um, what do you think about him indirectly not saying your name? Do you think in the post fight interview at UFC 309, do you think that he was doing that as a like an indirect diss or what? Because I know Dana's talking about whoever won 309 has to fight you next.
No, not in my opinion. I think a lot of people took it like that, but I didn't. I just think he's a very excited guy when he wins and likes the idea of a big fight. But I don't think the comment itself was a shot at me per se.
Interesting. So why do you think that he hasn't wanted to get in the octagon with you yet?
Maybe he's scared, and it wouldn't surprise me if he retires because he's already beat all the big name fighters. If it was a money issue, I think Dana would sort it out since the pay-per-view for me. Versus Jones would be massive.
Right. I know he said that you're not a worthy opponent and he doesn't want to gamble his legacy on somebody like you. What do you think that he meant by that?
I'm guessing he meant that I'm not that good a fighter to threaten his legacy, I think. But it's not true. I'm a good fighter and I think I'll beat him easy.
But he said that he doesn't want to gamble his legacy. So that to me sounds like he knows that you're a threat.
Yeah, I do get that impression, but not that much of a threat, to be honest. But you can never tell what goes on inside that twisted brain of his.
Why do you call it twisted?
He just constantly looks on edge and like something's off about him. It's just my perception, though. Not saying he is or anything like that.
Interesting. So let's say that you two were to finally get in the octagon. How do you think that fight would go?
To be honest with you, I'm a lot younger and quicker. I would wear him down to the mat and just ground and pound his face in and either KO him or it go to the judge's decision in my favour. I also believe I have the ability to take hits better than him.
Word. Because he told me earlier that he's not afraid of fighting you, but he's afraid of losing his legacy streak if he lost to you. Does that make sense to you or no?
Yeah, 100%. He will do anything to save his precious legacy. So he probably doesn't even want to chance it.
So that means that he's afraid of fighting you then, no?
Not afraid, more like concerned. I think like it's a huge risk if he can't beat me, since people believe he's the greatest fighter ever, and I'm a young new fighter coming to take that all down. It's a big risk for him, but I would still beat him either way.
So I'm confused here. He's not afraid of fighting you. He's afraid of losing his legacy to you, which means obviously he knows that you are an apex fighter in the heavyweight, meaning that you're not the, but one of the best fighters in heavyweight division. If he's the greatest fighter of all time, don't you think he would be eager to still prove it by taking you on and whooping you?
No, I don't. It just shows how fake and scared his personality is. He puts on a show for the people saying how he's the greatest and that he'll fight whoever. But what he means is he only wants fights where there's zero risk to his legacy and one that's worth him fighting, since he's made so much money in his career. If you notice, it's only now that he's come back to heavyweights because it makes him more money. He's just fake.
So you don't like him at all?
I don't dislike him, just don't like his fake personality and how he acts. Plus, I know a lot of people who say they've met him and that he's not a nice person at all out of the octagon. If I'm honest though, he's a brilliant fighter inside the octagon, but a very poor person out of it.
Well, that's all what other people say. I can't say whether he is or isn't a nice person because I've never met him before in person, but what I can say is that it does seem like he's been ducking a match with you because he's afraid of losing his legacy to you, which to me, it just doesn't make any sense. But when you heard Dana say that the winner of 309 has to fight you next, what were you thinking in that moment?
Well, if I'm being honest, I started smiling because I couldn't wait to get a chance to fight him.
Now, you were there at the event, right? Watching it ringside with a beer.
Yeah, I was watching it from ringside, cage side, in full view of camera. The Dana even pointed at me during the whole Jones calling out bit.
Really? Hell no, I missed that part. Um, did you feel salty that he didn't? Because remember, Jones said that he was thinking about how he probably won't retire and he's probably going to give the fans what they want, but he didn't say it was going to be you against him. Um, he he didn't also didn't say that it was going to be him against Pereira because I know he wants to go against Pereira too. Were you hoping that's what he was going to say? Was you versus him?
Yes, I was hoping he would say that, and I did get a bit annoyed that he was talking about other fights before mine, but I can see where he's coming from, and I get it, because I think Jones just wants a payday.
Interesting. So, do you want to fight Pereira eventually?
Yeah, of course, he's the most recent champ. I would love to take him on, and I want a chance at holding all the titles at some point.
Do you think that you could take Pereira?
Yeah, OFC, I do. I don't mean sound cocky just, but I do think I could KO him.
So, how would you go about doing that? Let's say theoretically that you and Pereira got into the octagon together. What would your plan be to defeat him?
I would wait and let him strike first, because a lot of the time he's quite reckless and will throw punches and kicks with no guard. I'd wait for him to do a risky kick and grab him down onto his back and ground and pound him from there.
So you would take him to the ground. You wouldn't stand and bang with him?
Yeah, I would get him to the ground and wear him down there. I think if I were just to stand and bang with him, his striking is a lot better than mine. I would have to bring him to my level of ground fighting.
Do you think that if you caught one of his left hooks to the chin, you'd go to sleep?
TBH, I think most guys in the heavyweight have that kind of KO potential. I would probably get rocked, but I'm willing to take that risk. I think I have a strong chin, and it's not been tested properly yet.
Are you wanting to test that against Pereira's left hook? Because I mean, everybody that he's gone against, he's fucking put to sleep. I mean, Khalil Roundtree, fucking Jamal Hill, fucking Yuri twice, Israel Adesanya, fucking like 5 times, 3 times in kickboxing, 2 times in UFC. Everybody he's gone up against, he's put to sleep.
You make a very good point there, but to be honest, I would still risk going up against him. I think I could surprise him. It would also be a massive payday if I did beat him. So I would be up for it either way.
Interesting. So, with that being said, I'm going to ask you a question. This will be the last question. If you had the opportunity to slap anybody across the face without any type of repercussions or consequences at all, who would it be and why?
Haha, great question. I'd 100% slap Colby Covington. That guy is just in a hole. I have never liked him since his fight with Jorge Masvidal.
Damn. What is it that you don't like about him?
Mainly his personality and the way he acts. I know it's mainly just for show, but even when he's not doing the character, he still seems like a prick.
Do you not like him because he supports Trump?
Not at all IDC about politics. I don't like him because he's a D. No wonder why Masvidal sucker punched him.
Interesting. Well,
how about you? Would you slap anyone?
Probably Jake Paul for the way that he did Tyson.
He is a massive attention-seeking ass. What pisses me off is that he can't even knock people out. He has the power of an 8-year-old. He's just all show, really, and he hasn't even fought any experienced boxers, and now he suddenly thinks he's a good boxer. It's a joke. I'm glad you said slapping him, though.
Hell no, man. Everybody's saying that his shit is all his matches are rigged. I mean, he lost to Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury was around the same age, with more experience, and he lost to him. So I don't know, man. I know Ryan Garcia wants to fight him. Fucking Francis Ngannou wants to fight him. Fucking there's this Russian boxing champion that wants to fight him too. And then I think Tank Davis wants to fight him. Man, everybody in boxing wants to fucking fight him right now.
I would love to see him get knocked out cold by anyone. They all have the power and the experience to KO him, and I would pay a lot of money to see it happen.
Right, it would be interesting. But hey, one thing I can't complain about was being able to see Mike Tyson in action in person. That shit was wild.
Damn, you saw him fight well in person? Oh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's one thing that I will never forget. Being able to go see Mike Tyson, this shit was crazy. Like, it's Mike Tyson, bro. Come on now.
He is the GOAT. Well, it's him or Ali Emo. To be able to see in person a man like that fight must have been amazing.
Right. But anyways, you got any last words you want to say to the people that are watching this?
Yeah, thanks for listening. And feel free to ask me more questions on here and share this video and subscribe, because I want to build up a fan base so I can have as many people supporting me as possible when I get my next big fight.
That don't make any sense, but okay, I'll see you later.
Why make it easy to understand if you have to watch to find out? Haha. Bye.
What the fuck? This dude been on some goofy ass shit, bro. First time I call him, he wants to play games. And then now he's talking about how he wants to build a fan base on YouTube. Bitch, you already got a fucking fan base. What you mean? Everybody's crashing out because you ain't fought John Jones yet. This dude be playing too many games. But nah, man, when he said Colby Covington, that shit caught me off guard. And then he asked me who I would slap. They ain't never asked me that question before. So I wasn't even prepared to answer that question. I just pulled some shit up real quick. But nah, for real though, man, I would slap the hell out of Jake Paul and Aiden Ross and probably Ariel's goofy ass. And Neon. I slapped the glasses off of Neon's face for the way he ran away. The way he ran away from fucking Nate Diaz. I would slap his glasses straight off his face. But that's beside the point. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this shit. Was goofy as hell. This shit was fun. And yeah, I'm started losing brain cells from these fucking AIs, pretending like they don't know what the hell is going on in the present time, pretending to play games, all this, that, and the third. I ain't never had to deal with one that crazy since the first time I talked to Slim Shady. So yeah. With that being said, make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. I'm getting the hell up on out of here, man. Deuces.